Philosophers since time immemorial have been questioning the existence of the true form of reality. The question, what is reality, is undoubtedly one that is really difficult to answer. However, I'm sure that each one of us has an idea of our own. In the last few decades, technology has progressed at an admirable rate. A lot of inventions and discoveries that, even a couple of centuries ago, would have been dismissed as a plot for a sci-fi novel have been made real with the relentless pursuit of knowledge through research, study, and experimentation. Especially now, when every little detail of our lives is cybernate, virtual reality has become a common concept. Be it video games or 3D shows in the arcades, VR is everywhere. But what if I told you that, according to stalwarts in the field, that is the future, and it is going to be sooner than we think? I know, this sounds crazy, right? Imagine living at a time when the virtual world is the real one, and all you have to do is settle comfortably in your favorite chair or just lounge around. Welcome to today's episode, where we're gonna talk about a very interesting and, might I add, a dumbfounding revelation that is bound to make most of you speechless. David Chalmers, a professor of philosophy and neurosciences in the New York University, claimed in his recently launched literary endeavor, Reality Plus, that very soon VR would take the place of what we know as actual reality, and it's time to embrace the future. According to Chalmers, the swift and quick pace at which science and technology are developing and improving won't be long before virtual reality manifests as a rival of the physical domain. Moreover, since VR offers infinite opportunities to live in your dream world, irrespective of how impractical and unfeasible it would have been in reality, the luster and charisma of the materialistic disposition might slowly fade. Professor Chalmers envisions a future where cybernetics and computing finally reach the pinnacle of their success, a world where there is no distinction between simulations and the physical realm, an era where we could live a happily ever after. Sounds like utopia, right? Grasping the concept is sure a big bite to chew, but Chalmers, who has earned global fame by enunciating the hard problem of consciousness in an interview with Guardian, expressed his view on this idea. He pointed out that we, the masses, somehow still believe that VR is fake, that what we strongly think is that the simulated existence isn't real. In fact, he goes as far as stating that virtual reality is genuine reality. Now, as crazy as that seems, we really can't drop the suggestion, simply because this concept of what is real and what isn't has been a long-standing query. It all dates back to the French philosopher René Descartes, who had asked, how can we be so sure that we actually live in the external world? Later rephrased as the Matrix-style poser, Chalmers answers that we cannot say for certain that we aren't in a simulation already. Professor Chalmers envisages an epoch in time where hardware and accessorizing devices will get replaced by BCIs or brain-computer interfaces, thus providing a virtual experience on a whole different level. The BCI is a concept where the human brain directly interacts with the computer, thus rendering equipment like earbuds and headphones useless. With the advent of high-end technology, very soon we will get to enjoy virtual space with all of our senses, even the sense of touch to a certain extent. And since ideally we take whatever we can see, touch, smell, hear, or feel to be real, the narrow line between the two worlds will get increasingly blurred. Being a philosopher himself, David Chalmers claims that from the philosophical point of view, the existing virtual worlds could all be termed as real. To prove his point, Professor Chalmers draws the analogy that just like the real world is made up of atoms and molecules, the virtual world is made up of bits. He also states that any action or decision that is occurring in the VR is as valid as it would have been in the real world. From business to politics, the digital platform will be the primary podium for everything, and objectively speaking, this idea doesn't seem that far-fetched either. If you are a tech enthusiast, chances are high that you already are aware of the Metaverse revolution. To phrase it in layman terms, the Metaverse is a combination of VR, augmented reality, 3D forums, social media, and so much more. What has been a game changer is that virtual reality can become a mode of earning, and the Metaverse was a step towards that direction, especially now, In the COVID situation, when the new normal is to stay indoors, traveling and entertaining has become limited. So the masses are becoming increasingly interested in activities like virtual traveling and online real estate and property deals. What's more, there's something for everyone. If you are a fashion enthusiast, you can launch a virtual clothing line, design characters, and even hold shows. Similarly, if your field of interest is video gaming, then there are several lucrative options for you. In fact, truth be told, modern-day video games and consoles provide the closest experience with the kind of lifestyle that Sharma expects to see in the future. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg followed the trend and has rebranded Facebook as Meta, which only goes to see that the bosses are accepting the Metaverse. Moreover, these virtual platforms are owned by multi-millionaire companies who obviously want to monetize them and turned their investments into profit. It's only a matter of time before the virtual domain expands even more. As Sharma puts it, virtual actuality is as real as the emotions, aspirations, and objectives of the physical world. According to him, in the long run, the perusal of materialistic things would become a luxury. Hypothetically speaking, he does have a point. I mean, aren't we already spending a massive portion of our day on digital platforms already? Be it socializing or making money, we depend on a computerized system for almost everything these days. However, this brings us to a very important question at this juncture. Where does that leave reality as we know it? An eventual inclination towards a completely cyber lifestyle is bound to give rise to new and complicated health issues, and the need for a healthy life cannot be ignored by anyone, which means that real food and drinks will always be required. If the major, only physical functions boil down to the basics like sleeping and eating only, there is a very high probability of negative consequences. The importance of physical reality, therefore, cannot be denied. For we might be leading a fantasy of our choosing in the virtual world, but when a calamity strikes, it is our physical presence that's going to face the difficulties. Well, what do you think? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, at the same time, the chance of living your life in the exact way that you want to, be it the choices you make or the results that you desire, is very alluring indeed. It's a tough contender, especially because this gives you a chance to choose your own story. In the virtual domain, we can have superpowers. We can rule kingdoms and wage wars. The users here reign supreme. Let me ask you, what would your ideal fairy tale be like? Please comment, and if you like this video, then give this a thumbs up. Share and subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more amazing videos. Sayonara!